Welcome everybody to Read to You 365, where we read to you books about you.
Ida B Wells, born July 16, 1862, through March 25, 1931. The incomparable Ida B Wells, journalist, newspaper editor, suffragist, sociologist, feminist, a leader of the civil rights movement, active in women's suffrage and women's rights. In 1887, she sued the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad Company for $500 and won, but had her case overturned by the Supreme Court of Tennessee. She bought a portion of a Mississippi newspaper, the Free Speech and Headlight, and used it to champion African American civil rights. Ida B. Wells was the co-founder of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. We know this as the NAACP. In 1909, she documented lynchings in the United States in the 1890s, wrote that it was often used in the South as a way to control or punish black people who competed with whites. Ida B. Wells Barnett, born 1862 through 1931. Ida B. Wells Barnett was an investigative journalist and activist. Her newspaper stories about lynchings in the South made her a civil rights pioneer. Ida B. Wells Barnett was born in Holly Springs, Mississippi in 1862. She was born into slavery, but was freed when President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, ending slavery in the United States. Ida's parents taught her the importance of education. She attended Rust College, which still exists today. Ida's education was cut short when her parents and one of her siblings died in a yellow fever epidemic, leaving Ida to care for herself and her remaining siblings. She found a job as a teacher to make money, and after her brothers became carpentry apprentices, moved with her sister to Memphis, Tennessee. In Tennessee, Ida wrote articles about justice for her church newspaper. Her first story was about an experience of her own. A train company had forced her to leave the train because she was not sitting in the car reserved for black customers even though Ida had bought a first-class ticket. When Ida refused to leave her seat, she was physically removed from the train. In 1884, she filed a lawsuit against the company and was awarded $500. She published an article about the experience in a newspaper under the name Lola. She was later given the title Lola, Princess of the Press. When one of Ida's friends was lynched, a type of murder that almost always targets black people, Ida began to research acts of violence against black people in the South in order to educate her others. She wrote powerful articles on the topics and boldly published her findings in local newspapers. Her work enraged many racists who burned her press and forced her out of Memphis. Ida continued with her mission despite these dangerous obstacles. In 1898, she visited the White House to meet the President, William McKinley, to try to convince him to take action against lynchings. Ida B Wells Barnett remains one of the most important leaders of the early civil rights movement. Her activism was an inspiration to journalists who came after her. Quote from Ida B. Wells. The very frequent inquiries made after my lectures by interested friends is, what can I do to help the cause? The answer always is, tell the world the facts. End quote. Want to know more? You can learn more about Ida B. Wells Barnett by reading The Princess of the Press by Angela Shelf Meteors. I love you. Thanks for watching. This is a CJT production.